Guys, seriously, have you ever been so sure about something, like so unbelievably, undeniably sure, only to find out you were completely embarrassingly wrong? It happens to the best of us, right? But what if I told you that some of those wrong memories might not be our fault at all? What if they're glimpses into something way, way weirder? Something that could literally change everything we think we know about, well, reality itself. That's what we're diving into today. Buckle up, buttercups, because things are about to get seriously trippy. We're talking about the Mandela Effect. And no, I'm not talking about the amazing human being that was Nelson Mandela. I'm talking about the phenomenon that makes us question everything we thought we knew. Imagine this. You remember something so clearly, so vividly, a logo, a movie quote, maybe even a historical event, and you find out to your absolute horror that it never actually happened that way. What if this isn't just some freaky coincidence? What if it's a glitch in the fabric of reality itself? Okay, so let's break this down, because this Mandela Effect thing is seriously messing with my mind. It's like, how can so many people be so sure of something that never actually happened? Basically, it's when a huge group of people, like a weirdly large number of people, all remember something differently than how it actually went down. It's almost like a collective false memory. The whole thing got its name from, get this, Nelson Mandela's death, or rather, the false memory of his death. Now stay with me, because this is where it gets wild. It's not just a few people, it's a significant number of people who share this memory. A lot of people, and I mean a lot, could have sworn that Nelson Mandela died in prison back in the 1980s. They have vivid memories of it. They remember seeing it on the news, remember the funeral, the whole 9 yards. It's like a shared hallucination. But guess what? Mandela actually lived until 2013. Like, what the actual? How do so many people get this wrong? That's just one example, and trust me, the internet is crawling with these things. It's like a treasure trove of collective misremembering. People remembering the Monopoly man wearing a monocle, he doesn't, which is just bizarre when you think about it. Darth Vader saying, "Luke, I am your father," he totally doesn't, even though it's one of the most famous misquotes ever. And even the Berenstain Bears being spelled Berenstein Bears, which, like, come on. It's like our brains are playing tricks on us. I know, some of you are probably thinking, Shane, you're just misremembering things, you beautiful disaster, but it's not just me, and yeah, maybe some of it is just our brains being their usual glitchy selves. But can we really chalk it all up to that? But there are so many of these Mandela effects, and they're so specific, so vivid, that it makes you wonder if something else is going on. It's almost like a glitch in the Matrix. What if these aren't just memory errors? What if there's more to it than meets the eye? What if there are cracks in the system, glimpses into alternate realities where things are just a tiny bit different? It's a mind-bending thought. I'm not saying that's definitely the case, but I'm also not saying it. It's one of those things that makes you question everything, because once you start going down this rabbit hole, things get really, really weird. It's like opening a door to a whole new world of possibilities. It's like peeking behind the curtain of reality and realizing that things aren't as straightforward as we thought. It's both fascinating and unsettling. Let's take a deep breath and dive into some of the theories people have come up with to explain this whole Mandela Effect thing. Trust me, it's going to be a wild ride. Alright, so we've established that the Mandela Effect is a wild ride through the depths of our collective consciousness. But what's the deal with it? Why do so many of us share these strange, alternate memories? Why are we all remembering things differently? Is it just a quirk of human memory, or is there something more mysterious at play? Well, buckle up, because the theories are even wilder than the Mandela effects themselves. We're diving into some seriously mind-bending territory here. Let's start with the big guns, the one that makes you question the very fabric of existence: parallel universes. Yeah, you heard me right. Parallel universes where every possible outcome of every decision exists in its own separate reality. This theory suggests that there are countless versions of reality existing simultaneously, each with its own subtle differences. Imagine a world where every "what if" you ever pondered is playing out somewhere. Like in one universe, the Berenstain Bears are rocking that A, while in another they're sticking to the E wild, right? It's like a cosmic game of spot the difference. The idea is that we're constantly shifting between these parallel universes without even realizing it. Every decision, every action could be nudging us into a slightly different reality. And when we do, our memories come along for the ride. It's like our minds are the ultimate travelers, hopping from one universe to another. So that vivid memory of Jiffy peanut butter, maybe it's not your imagination. Maybe it's a leftover souvenir from a reality where Jiffy was the name of the game. It's like a breadcrumb from another world. It's a mind-blowing concept, right? The idea that our lives are just one version of an infinite number of possibilities. Like, are there infinite versions of ourselves out there living out different versions of our lives, each one slightly different yet eerily familiar? Are we constantly crossing paths with alternate versions of our loved ones without even knowing it? It's a thought that can make you question everything. It's enough to make your head spin. The more you think about it, the more it feels like we're living in a sci-fi movie. But wait, there's more. Another popular theory is the glitch in the matrix idea. Think about it. Those little inconsistencies, those altered details, they're like errors in the matrix. Proof that our reality isn't as solid as we think it is. It's like the universe's way of reminding us that nothing is set in stone. Maybe someone, or something, is messing with the code, changing things up just to see what happens. It's a tantalizing thought, isn't it? Chapter 3. Mind control or mass hysteria. Are we all just brainwashed? Okay, so we've talked about parallel universes and glitches in the matrix, but what if the explanation for the Mandela Effect is a little closer to home? What if it's not some grand cosmic phenomenon but something rooted in the very nature of our minds? Enter the theories of mass hypnosis and collective memory. Now I know what you're thinking. Are you suggesting we're all being brainwashed by some evil genius? And the answer is, maybe? Okay, not necessarily brainwashed in the traditional sense, but what if our memories are being influenced on a subconscious level? Think about it. We're constantly bombarded with information, from the news to social media to conversations with friends. What if some of that information, even if it's false, starts to seep into our memories and alter them? It's like that game we used to play as kids, Telephone, where a message gets passed around and distorted along the way. What if our collective memory is like a giant game of telephone where details get mixed up, embellished, and eventually completely fabricated? And then there's mass hypnosis, which takes this idea a step further. Some people believe that it's possible for large groups of people to be hypnotized into believing something that isn't true. What if the Mandela Effect is like a viral trend for our memories, where a false memory spreads from person to person until it becomes ingrained in our collective consciousness? Chapter 4: The Creepiest Mandela Effects. You're not alone in this rabbit hole. Alright guys, you ready for this? Because we're about to dive into some of the creepiest, most mind-boggling Mandela effects out there. And trust me, once you start noticing these things, you can't unsee them. It's like opening a Pandora's box of weirdness, and I am living for it. Let's start with a classic Jiffy peanut butter. I know, I mentioned it before, but this one really gets me. I could have sworn, hand on my heart, that it was always Jiffy. Like the commercials, the jars at the grocery store, everything. But guess what? It's always been Jif. No fly in sight. And I'm not alone. Millions of people remember it the same way, so what gives? Did we all collectively hallucinate a different spelling? Did the peanut butter overlords mess with the space-time continuum? I need answers. And speaking of food-related Mandela effects, how about this one, Fruit of the Loom? Remember that cute little cornucopia overflowing with fruits and veggies on their logo? Yeah, about that. There never was one. I know, right? Mind-blowing. It's always just been the fruit, no basket in sight. But it gets weirder, guys. Remember the adorable little Curious George? You know, the mischievous monkey who was always getting into trouble? Well, buckle up, because apparently Curious George never had a tail. These are just a few examples, guys, and trust me, there are hundreds more out there. Chapter 5. What if it's true? Living in a world we don't remember. So we've talked about the Mandela Effect, the theories, the examples, but what does it all mean? What are the implications of these strange phenomena on our daily lives and our understanding of reality? What if, and stay with me here, what if it's all true? What if every instance of the Mandela Effect is a clue to a larger, more complex puzzle? What if we really are slipping between parallel universes, experiencing glitches in the matrix, or having our memories manipulated by forces beyond our comprehension? The possibilities are both thrilling and unsettling. I don't know about you guys, but the thought of it both terrifies and excites me. It opens up a realm of possibilities that we never thought possible. It's like realizing that the world is a much stranger, more mysterious place than we ever imagined. A place where the rules we thought governed our lives might not apply. If we're constantly shifting between realities, what does that mean for our sense of identity? How do we define who we are if the ground beneath us is always shifting? What if the choices we make in this reality have ripple effects across the multiverse? Every decision, no matter how small, could be creating new branches of reality. What if there's a version of us out there who made a different choice, took a different path, and is living a completely different life? It's a mind-bending concept. And what about the glitches in the matrix? These anomalies that make us question the very fabric of our reality. If our reality is just a simulation, who are the programmers? Are they beings of higher intelligence or something else entirely? Are they benevolent beings watching over us, or are they something more sinister? The thought alone is enough to send shivers down your spine. And if we can glitch the matrix, does that mean we can hack it? Could we find a way to manipulate the code of our own existence? Could we potentially rewrite our own realities? Imagine the possibilities if we had that kind of control. It's mind-boggling to think about, and it raises more questions than it answers. Questions that challenge our very understanding of existence. But maybe that's the point. Maybe the Mandela Effect is here to remind us of the vast unknown. Maybe the Mandela Effect is a reminder that we don't have all the answers, that the universe is full of mysteries we may never fully understand. It's a humbling thought. It reminds us that anything is possible, that the world is full of wonder and magic, even if it comes in the form of misremembered logos and phantom cornucopias. And perhaps that's what makes life so incredibly fascinating. The Mandela Effect is one of those mysteries that leaves you questioning everything. It's like a puzzle box with no solution, a riddle without an answer. Do you have any memories that don't match reality? Have you experienced the Mandela Effect firsthand? Let me know in the comments below and let's dive down this rabbit hole together. And as always guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more mind-bending mysteries. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and most importantly, stay weird.